Thank you very much. Okay, let's see can I clearly communicate this message this evening. This evening I had a special message. I woke up 4 o'clock, 4:30 this morning, and this sort of message came to my head. And so I want to try to communicate this as best I can. I like to do stuff. Most of I don't plan these things. So it's easy for me to communicate from experience than it is to communicate when I sort of write down a scripted message. So I'm going to do this the best I can, so bear with me. But let me share something, folks. I call this the creature and the blessing. And the reason I titled it that is because these premium packages that we've been talking about and what they ultimately mean, and try to paint this picture to what it means to the individual, truly what it means that gets a package. And I made the statement of the day that when you get this package, you become, in essence, a Rothschild. Now, I understand the negative connotation approach to that, but the message is to say that you become a person that now owns a piece of an organization that's creating cash that's being used all around the world, and every time that cash is acquired or saved, you are now in a position to earn income from it. And that sort of evolved in my mind to the thought process, wait a minute, this is bigger than we think. So let me try to paint a picture for you. I said the creature and the blessing. Now here's the creature. That's based on the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. The Creature from Jekyll Island is about the creation of the Federal Reserve. Now, for those who haven't read that book, for those who still may not be in the know, who do not understand that the Federal Reserve is not federal, it's not owned by the government, it's owned by a handful of rich families that got together in 1913 on a little island outside of Georgia called Jekyll Island. These were the richest people in the world, and they conspired and they designed a plan to control the entire world through finances, to control and enslave and dominate this entire planet through finances. And understand there were families in Europe who've been doing this for the last 400, 500 years anyway, and they understood that if you can control a country's finances, it matters not who makes the laws. Rothschild himself is quoted as saying, let me control a country's finances and it does not matter. Let me control their money and I don't care who makes the laws. And so they conspired with a group of wealthy families in this country and in Europe to put together a plan to control the finances of this country and enslave and dominate the entire population. They created in 1913 the Federal Reserve System, okay, so they could put this manipulation process in place. They realized they could create and print money out of thin air. They've been trying to do this for years, but in 1913 they finally implemented the plan. They found a secret meeting now. You understand? It was so secret, when they went down to Georgia, when they identified themselves, when they were on the train trip, it was secret. They knew what they were doing. This is a conspiracy. It's not me talking. It was a conspiracy of the highest order. Okay? And they understood that if they can create this Federal Reserve, put it in place, and make people think it's a bank owned by the federal government, then they could print money out of thin air. And every time they print money and sell it to the government of the United States, they could charge an interest for that money, and that interest on that money will be paid to their families for generations. And they can maintain control and keep control of the country's wealth in the top 1%, which they've done for over 100 years. Now, how did they go about implementing this plan? They said, well, we got to figure out how do we go about implementing this plan. First, we create the Federal Reserve, okay? We convince everyone. We must convince everyone because, see, 100+ years ago, people knew that gold was money and paper was paper. So they had to go about convincing everyone that paper is now money and gold is a commodity. Plan number 2. They said we got to put an indoctrination system in place. How do we put an indoctrination system in place that'll last for generations? We create a free educational system. They create a free educational system. What do we teach the kids? We teach them what we want to teach them. But we teach our kids something different, but we teach the majority of the population what we want to teach them. We teach them that paper is money, not gold. We teach them that it's better to have a job and not a business. We teach them it's better to have a job and not be in free enterprise and not take control of your life. We teach them it's better to have a job so we can now collect taxes. Wait a minute. We got to put a tax system in place. The exact same year as Mark Price just told us. When was the federal tax system put in place? 1913, the same year the Federal Reserve was done. What do we do with the tax system? We take the money first, and then we give them back to them. We got to convince them we're doing them a favor, but we're going to take their money first. We're going to give it back to them in the form of a refund. Thank you for the interest-free loan. And then, wait a minute, we can also steal their money through inflation without them even understanding that their wealth is being taken every single month as we deplete the value of the dollar. And by the time the average person figure out what's going on, they're 65 or they're dead. And the plan came into full effect in Bretton Woods right after World War II, because not only did they say we now have control of the dollar, we're going to make the dollar the world's reserve currency. So every single country on this planet pretty much now is tied to the dollar. And every time we print the dollar, our families get wealthy and wealthy and wealthy just by printing this dollar in this $1.4 quadrillion paper currency world. That creature was created, and it kept the wealthy in place for the last 100 years. We're talking about a handful of families for generations. We don't need to call names. Many of us know who they are. For over 100 plus years. But now the writing is on the wall. I sent out a text today by Kenneth the economist. He talked about what's going to happen in the next 48 hours on September 30th when the Chinese government introduced the yuan and all this currency is going to be backed by gold. And then we have a second, perhaps a third world currency on the scene and one that's backed by gold. The impact that's going to have on a worldwide global scale. I'm not an economist. I can't speak to that. But it created a sense of urgency within me. This is after I'd written this. It created a sense of urgency in me. So, oh my grace, I told God, Val, what cash do we have in the bank? I'm taking it all out tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen on September 30th. You know me, guys. I like to sell the dream. I like to sell getting the Bentley, getting the Rolls Royce, getting a new home. That's travel. Let's go to the beach. Let's buy airplanes. Let's buy jets. Okay? But that little message from Kenneth the economist that Dave Struckman put out today, I'm going to tell you something. That gave me a sense to say, no. Something serious is going on. And it's going to happen now. Maybe not this weekend, but it's going to happen now. This is time for action. This is time for action. But that's the creature, okay? But you know what? In 2010, a blessing came about. Because this guy over in Stuttgart, Germany, had an idea. And his idea, I'm talking Mr. Harold Seitz, he says, I got a vision. I think we are going back to a gold-based economy. I think we need to convince people, again, let them understand that money, that gold, is money. And we need to start to make this gold available in transaction-friendly amounts worldwide. Now, think about it. 5, 6 years ago, that's a pretty insane idea. But he believed so much in the idea that he put millions on the table to start the idea. And he set aside a mission to free people, not just people, to free people and countries from a system of debt that has been looting this planet for the last 100 years. And it started with a simple product, gold, in 1, 2.5, and 5 gram increments. And those who have been around for the last 5 years, they know it was difficult to get that product just right. The lamination process was wrong. Mr. Harold Seitz went and invested thousands of dollars in a lamination process process to perfect this transaction-friendly new money, gold. Now the system is in place, okay, for people, for the general masses, for the average person to store their wealth, okay? This is serious, folks. This gold cannot be manipulated. That's one of the things that makes it so great. You have gold money now. It cannot be easily manipulated by financial institutions and governments, okay? It gives you control over your financial future. It gives you a sense of security, okay, against those who make the laws. The plan has worked, and we're just getting started. 430,000 people have opened free gold savings accounts through word of mouth. Why do we have to go word of mouth? Somebody asked me that Sunday. Why do we have to go word of mouth? I like to call it sometimes stealth marketing, because we have created the real money revolution. Okay? That's what we've started. What's the definition of a revolution? Complete or radical or drastic change. This is a drastic change from the way business has been done. And you on this call are at the forefront of that change. The Karatbars app coming out. The 1, 2.5, 5 grams gold. The cash gold coming out. We're on the forefront of that change. I call it a revolution because it's not a movement. It's a revolution. It's a drastic or radical change. When the 13 colonies decided to go to war, it wasn't called the movement. It was called the revolution. This was a drastic change to overcome tyranny, to overcome taxation without representation. It was serious. It's a serious change to create a system of freedom that had never been done before in the history of mankind. This is the real money revolution. And now we have cash gold coming. It looks like money. One of the things I've realized in the last 90 days, I can show people the 1, 2.5, 5 gram cards, and they look at it and they saw the stir and they get a little excited. But when I show them that purple stuff that looks like money with gold embedded right there in the plasticized money, to quote Dr. Steigerwald, they get flat out excited because it looks like money. And when Mr. Harold Seitz showed that pretty money last week that's going to be coming out here in the next 90 days, I said, oh my gracious, the party has just started. For those who've been working your tails off for the last 2 years, I'm telling you, look, you're going to benefit for all the work you've done, for the team you put together, 500 people, 1,000 or 2,000 people. I've said 1,000 times, get your multiplier. Your multiplier is the base of your team, because as we start to explode, it's going to be crazy. This is the blessing. But wait a minute. Okay. Now you acquire that gold. What do? You acquire gold in small amounts for opening free accounts. If you've already done that. For those guests on the call, you're doing it for the first time. You build a global network. Okay? You build a global network that'll pay you 5 times a month. How you open a free gold savings account, and then you start to build a global network. When somebody tells you they're not interested, they just don't understand. Try to help them understand or move on. You can build a global network from home with everybody benefiting from acquiring gold. Okay? This blessing is going to put you in the 1%. There's only 1% of the population own physical gold, and from day one you enroll in Karatbars, you can own physical gold. This makes you, in essence, someone like the Federal Reserve. Okay? But I got to add one more little piece to it before I finish. I'm almost finished. Okay? It makes you one of those families that founded the Federal Reserve in some ways. But we got a gold reserve. You're not the Federal Reserve. You don't own a piece of Karatbars. But oh my gracious. Okay? So let me tie this all up when I say it makes you feel like the Federal Reserve. Okay? Can you imagine 1913 if you on Jekyll Island and they said to you, now look, now we're going to get this thing off the ground. We don't know if it's really going to work. We don't know what's going to happen. Here's our plan. Okay, we're going to create the Federal Reserve. We're going to start dominating the entire planet with paper currency, and all you got to do is put up $10,000 as we launch this whole thing. And every time paper money is printed, anywhere in the world, you and your family going to get a percentage payment for the rest of your life, for generations to come, for as long as paper money has been printed all over the world. That's what was done at Jekyll Island in 1913. Now, here's Mr. Harold Sykes. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do a little differently. We're going to open up to anyone that wants to participate, anyone that has enough faith to step out on faith and get involved. We're going to keep it this simple. You can become a part of this global phenomenon. How? How? And get you a piece of everything that happens. First thing you said, we coming out with the VIP exclusive. Well, that's gone. But many of you took advantage of that. Oh, you're a genius. Oh, you're a genius, so you don't even know you're a genius. Okay? It'll be proved you're a genius 5 years from now, 3 years from now, 2 years. Whenever this thing explodes and you look up and all of a sudden, every time you look twice a year, you're getting that VIP exclusive residual because you stepped out on faith. And then Mr. Harold Sykes took it one step further and created this premium package, this pro package. Why does Dr. Steigerwald talk about it so much? Because he see it. You may not see it. I'm trying to help you see what this thing is done. So wait a minute now. Let me see, can I get this clear? Okay? You do not own a share of Karatbars. Okay? You do not own a piece of Karatbars. You do not own a company. You don't have the risk associated with ownership of the company. You're just put in a pool because you bought a premium package or a premium pro package. It puts you in a pool. And this pool is going to take a piece of every single bit of cash gold that's marketed around the world in this $1.4 quadrillion industry. Every single month, it's going to take a piece of that cash gold that's marketed as we grow. It's going to put it in a pool, and it's going to pay it back to those people who had the vision to see what we're doing and step out and got a premium or a pro package. Forever. You heard Brent Gober. What did Harold Sykes say? Brent Gober said, now, are you here for a little while? Or are you playing around with this thing? And Harold said, I will be here till they throw the dirt on my grave. Folks, I'm telling you, this is it. So every single time cash gold is moved anywhere in the world, when you have a premium package, you just become a Rockefeller. You just become a J.P. Morgan. You just become a Rothschild. You just become one of those people who met in Jekyll Island, but we're not secretly meeting. We're saying the whole world's invited. We're leveling the playing field here like it's never been leveled. You got the right to make that decision to get you a premium package or a pro package anytime you feel like it. And right now you get 2 shares, okay? And wait a minute, it's a willable part of your estate. That's right, just like it was for those guys who met on Jekyll Island. Now you have the same opportunity, but you're doing it with real money. We're not manipulating. We're not playing games. It's real stuff. And as we start to create this cash gold currency all around the world, every single month after month after month after month after month after month, you're going to get a residual because you stepped out on faith. You don't have to build a team. You don't have to build a downline. You don't have to understand how the money's being printed. All you have to do is get you a premium package. Now, wait a minute. It don't stop there. No, $1.4 quadrillion. This is huge. But when you get the premium package, you get gold in the package. You're getting all this other product. Getting what? You're getting product. You just ain't putting $5,000. This is not an investment. You're buying a product package, $5,000 or $10,000. Now, wait a minute. I'm going to take that one step further, and then I'm going to be done. Okay? Not only are you paying $5,000 for that package, I'm going to use Mr. Mark Pryor's numbers. You're pretty much getting the package for free. If you break the math down, you're getting a 5,000 premium package for free. Let me give you an example. This is just an example. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a tax expert, but I can do math. Okay? You buy a $5,000 package. If your tax benefits from that package alone is around $1,900, that brings the package down to around $3,100 right there. If it upgrades you to VIP and you were a silver or a gold, and you had to pay the difference, you're paying around $1,600 just to upgrade. It's going to give you the VIP, so that saves another $1,600 right there. And VIP puts you at the top of the compensation plan, so you get paid 5 times a week, the maximum amount of money 5 times a month, the maximum amount of money you can get paid. Okay, that brings your package down to $1,500 right there. Oops, wait a minute, you're getting some gold in that package, anywhere from maybe 8 to 10 grams of gold in that package. That brings your package down to $780 right there. Wait a minute, okay, oh, got to throw the profit card in here. That saves another about $112 right there. Wait a minute, you're also going to cycle. It depends on where you get the package at. You can cycle right there. That brings your package down to around $300, maybe $300 to $400 net cost on that package. It didn't cost you $5,000. You literally almost paying Karatbars to send the package to you. Folks, this has become, I don't want to use that word, no-brainer, but I don't know any other way to explain it to you. Okay? That's my talk for tonight.